Republican National Committee announcing the debate schedule, Jackie Kucinich. And very interesting, not only is the party limiting it to 9 debates, because what, there were about 50 last time, 60, 70?
One every other day. Well, I mean, there was one in New Hampshire that was within 24 hours of each other. There were 2 of them. So
in case somebody fell asleep, they had to be wake up the next morning.
Well, and they were an embarrassment to Republicans in a lot of ways, those debates.
Because they were great for TV networks.
Oh, no, they were great. They were great for, I'm sure they were great for, they were also great for the lower tier candidates who, got a chance in the sun every other day at these debates. And so they said early on.
Herman Cain and Rick Santorum got a chance to shine. They didn't have any money. But here's the thing. Obviously, networks really want to get a piece of the action.
Right.
And in announcing who's going to get what, the RNC has given 3 of these debates to Fox News, 1 on Fox Business, 2 to CNN, 1 each to ABC and CBS, and then NBC gets 1 with Telemundo, and also CNBC. Nothing for MSNBC. Do you think that might have been intentional?
Yeah, I think Reince Priebus said so. He said that to Joe Scarborough, that MSNBC doesn't deserve to host a debate for Republicans because they are not interested in helping not helping the Republican Party, but
it's not their job.
No, it's not their job. But they're not interested in just the debate. They're more interested in embarrassing Republicans, is what Priebus said to Joe Scarborough, who was a Republican congressman.
Well, this kind of troubles me. On the one hand, MSNBC doesn't really have a news division anymore, and so on election night or big primary debates, they're hosted, but tend to be hosted by Rachel Maddow and Chris Matthews, who make no bones about being liberal commentators. But if in another cycle there are hot Democratic debates and the DNC says we don't like Fox News and Fox News is going to be cut out, Fox handles these differently.
Actually happened.
Yes, I think there would be more of an uproar. So I'm sympathetic to MSNBC. I mean, it would depend on who they put up as the moderators. If you give political parties the chance to sort of pick which networks the candidates are willing to appear on, to me, that's giving too much power to a political party.
Well, this isn't without precedent. You'll remember that, I think it was in 2007, candidates didn't show up to a Fox News debate.
They dropped out one by one.
They dropped out one by one, and it was eventually canceled. And so I don't think Fox has hosted a Democratic debate since, 2004. It's been a really long time.
Right. Well, there weren't any in 2012.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So we'll see what happens this time, if there's any Democratic debates, what they decide, what the DNC decides to do. So this isn't something that hasn't happened before, but, Priebus made it very clear that this was going to happen, and he got his wish.
Well, it is his party, I suppose, but I find it also troubling because is this going to put any subtle pressure? I'm reminded now, remember the flap probably more than a year ago where CNN and NBC were going to do, one was going to do a Hillary movie and one was going to do a Hillary documentary, and Reince Priebus said, well, they're not going to get any debates. So if this can be used as a stick to club, as it turned out, both projects died, and of course CNN and NBC are getting debates. But is there going to be subtle pressure on some of these networks not to be too critical of Republican candidates because, you lose the debate?
And that's something they're going to have to deal with. I mean, the Hillary documentary flap, all of that, it was a little troubling because there shouldn't be able to have that kind of pressure on the networks. But that's up to them to decide and to put on their networks and to really rail against that. I mean,
I guess the reaction is a little muted because NBC, the parent company, did in effect get 2 debates,
right,
one on
and
the
that's the thing.
network and one on CNBC.
They're not totally cut out.
Right, not totally cut out. But if you're on MSNBC, it's interesting now to see how they will cover these debates when there will not be one on that channel. But I think this is part of a long-running power struggle between the media and the parties. Jackie Kucinich, good to see you, and we're back here next week with more After the Buzz.